Welcome back to Wayne TV. I'm Joel Gilley. I have some very special guests with me today. I've got Mr. Octavius Murphy, the assistant to the city manager, and Craig Folk from Wayne Community College. Did I pronounce that correct?
Very close.
What is the correct pronunciation?
Vote.
Vote.
Just like
Okay.
right now, get out to vote.
I was
Vote.
close. I feel like every time someone talks about you, there's a different pronunciation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we're here talking about small business money available for small businesses, really. So we were speaking a little bit before we started filming, Octavius. We had the CARES Act funding that got passed down to local government, that got passed down to city government. And the city of Goldsboro has decided to take a portion of their money and really give back to small businesses, right?
That is right. Yeah, we're in the mayor and council want to make sure we affect our local community, and we're doing that in the small business community with this money. We're making $100,000 available for small business owners who qualify. So it's a grant. It's going to come in the form of $2,500 or $5,000 for those who employ a minimum of 2, but no more than 15. So it's a wonderful opportunity if we can get those small business owners to apply.
That's great, because I feel like a lot of times the grant dollars they only look out for the larger companies, but this is really cool that y'all are targeting that small business. And like you said, it's for Wayne County residents. The business has to be in Wayne County, so we know that money's staying local too.
Absolutely.
And Craig, of course, the community college has partnered up with the city as well to kind of help elevate the efforts a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it made for a really good partnership. The county and the city are always good to work with, but this was just a no-brainer for us. We've got the Small Business Center there at the college. Small Business Center operates under general statutes. We got confidentiality statements. So trying to, filter through and make sure all the eligibilities are there. You need to have somebody that can talk to them, but also keep confidential information, confidential records. So, when somebody's applying to get the funding through the grant, some people may be concerned that, I don't necessarily want the city to know, or I don't want the county I don't want government to know, what my business is going on. No, it's a small business center counselor who's going to be basically filtering everything in. And then what we've done is we've been able to do that through some additional funding that we got. There was also CARES Act money that came down from the state to the Small Business Center, and every community college and every small business center got some of this stuff. But everybody that applies, whether you get the grant or not, you get some additional services. So we've gotten an extra $50,000 where we're hiring people that we've identified that some businesses didn't have a marketing plan. And what we've done is we've hired someone to come in and help them develop a marketing plan and how to execute it. Or we found that some people were doing their taxes or doing their bookkeeping all by themselves, and maybe they didn't know how to use QuickBooks, or maybe they were just doing it on a spreadsheet. And what we've been able to do is hire someone to teach them how to do that, or hire a CPA to come in and help get their books straightened out. So there's a lot of other things that that we can do with this, but it's called an R3 initiative. And so everybody comes in, we filter through them, make sure they meet all the qualifications. Even if you don't meet qualifications, you still get an opportunity for some sort of additional service. And then also you go into the lottery to be able to get one of the 2 grants depending on your business size.
Yeah, I'm going to call it out because you have a nice little flyer there. Because the community college really does have a lot of resources for businesses, small business owners who are unsure about how to navigate things. And I mean, all these resources are free too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We already do it free, and really what it was is every small business center across the state, no matter where it was. So we got the same amount of money that the small business center in Wake County got, and Wake County is way larger.
Yeah.
So we're able, I feel like we're able to do a lot more for the businesses that we've got here through that. But they call it the R3 initiative, is reboot, recover, rebuild. And so, it may be the fact that you weren't ready for the pandemic. How did you prepare for it? How do you recover from it?
Who was ready for it?
Yeah, right. And so, but did you have enough money, set aside for something like that, because your doors were going to be shut down for 3 months and you didn't know it? And so we can hire, business strategy developers to help you develop a strategy like that. Maybe you just need to figure out where there's some other avenues for revenue. Maybe you were selling stuff inside of a store and now you realize, I could have been selling online the whole time.
Yeah.
How do I get my business now online? So we can hire people to actually help you get to that and pay for that. So I mean, it's a win. If you apply, it's a win, no matter what. Whether you are eligible for the grant or not, it's a win.
The small business center is one of those things I feel like that not enough small business owners think about. Luckily today we have Google, we have the internet, which can teach you a lot of stuff. But so much of, as I've owned a small business before, so much of that's North Carolina focused. You've got to know the North Carolina laws and things. So that's why it really is a huge asset to have the small business center, and like you said, a great partnership. So for people who are interested in applying, what is step number one?
I would say step number one is to go to our website, the City of Goldsboro website.
Okay.
Up there, it outlines not only the application process, but the criteria that we'll be using to make this selection. It is, as Craig said, it is the lottery system. So those will qualify. We're going to pull out of the lottery system. Yeah. And make it simple. It will tell you what the requirements are, what documents are required for us to move forward in the process. So it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty straightforward. Once you go there to apply, and they've got it on a banner, so it's really easy to see. We've been walking around to different businesses, and I put a QR code on the front of it.
There you go.
A lot of people didn't know what a QR code was, so I had to teach them something about their phone, right? But they take their phone out, and this goes right over to the same link. But in saying that, it's just some basic information. Where is your business located at? What's your home address? Because it's got to be, at least one business owner has got to be within, live within the county. The business itself needs to be within the city. And then it's some basic questions, even asking you some stuff like, all these different other services that we can provide is, what are some other things that you might need assistance with? Then what they're doing is they're filling out a confidentiality statement. That's that client form to go to the Small Business Center director. And everything that you submit while you're submitting it on the city's webpage, everything goes right straight to the Small Business Center director. So nobody else gets this information. Yeah. It is totally confidential. And then what she does is she just reviews that. She gives an initial phone call. And then after that, then we've got a CPA that's out of town, because we wanted to make sure that nobody could say or be concerned that maybe one person was looking at this, and this one person might know somebody around here. So we wanted to keep it as impartial as possible. And so that's why we hired a CPA out of Wilmington area. That's he's on the national scoreboard. He is just a really, he's helped out one business. I'll just give you a success already. We haven't even awarded any of the grants though, and there was a business that came through and something just red flag stood out to him. And he's like, oh my gosh, this particular business, if they didn't know about this, this could have really ended their business in a couple of months. And there was an issue with the way some stuff was filing, but we got it straightened out for them, and they were so thankful for that. And they didn't have to pay for it. It was totally free.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And hats off to y'all too for trying to make it as impartial as possible too.
Yeah.
Because you're right. A lot of people do worry about that. It is a small world here in Wayne County. So that's great. And the deadline is coming up, right?
Friday at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
But we're considering extending that. We hadn't made that decision yet, but the concern is a lot of business owners are out there pushing their products and services.
Yeah.
They're working. Yeah. They're back at work, and that's important. So they may not have heard our commercials. They may not have seen our websites. They may not have gotten our flyers. So we're knocking on doors. We're making phone calls. We're doing everything we can do to make these business owners aware of this opportunity. Because if nothing's clear, I think it was Commissioner Ray Mayo said, we are a resilient community. Yeah. We bounce back every time from disaster like this. And this is a true disaster. So
it is. It's one that we've not dealt with. We've gotten fairly good at the hurricanes and stuff like that, right. But this one's definitely a new one.
Yeah.
So again, the deadline is coming up. So make sure you head to the City of Goldsboro website and get your grant application in. And keep an eye out on the website in case that gets extended too, because that'll be the first place it gets posted. Yeah. Gentlemen, anything else we need to talk about today?
No, not really that I can think of. Just trying to get the word out. And, if you know anybody that's got, that's a friend that owns a business, even if you're not sure the criteria when you're reading through it, you have questions, you can call the Small Business Center. Kim will be happy to talk to anybody. And just sort of go through that if they have some questions with it. She may ask you to sign a confidentiality statement at that point right there also, but this is just another, I think, wonderful way that we can show that the community that we all partner together, and it's one great way to help the business.
And I would say if you're concerned about the criteria, apply anyways.
Yeah.
Because if you apply, you may not qualify for the grant money, but you're certainly going to qualify for the services.
Yeah, the resources.
That are provided there. So it's a win-win. You can't lose, and you just never know what the future is going to has in store, because right now the way this pandemic is going, Congress might approve another set of monies that we might be able to hit the local business community with as well. So yeah, please apply.
Absolutely, and don't be afraid. It is for small businesses. You know, a lot of times you see this grant money, you hear about this grant money. It's for larger corporations, larger businesses. This is targeted for small businesses, 2 employees. I mean, that's all you have to have. So, so don't be afraid to apply for it if you have a small business. It's that's what it's there for. At least get your name in the hat, right?
Yeah.
Guys, thank you all so much. Again, head to the City of Goldsboro website. We'll have that information down at the bottom for you. And get applied for the grant today, and keep an eye out on that website for any future grant opportunities.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you all so much for your time today.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.